What's up? I'm IAMOBG for TastingSkills.com. Welcome back to another video. Today, I am talking about one of my favorite distilleries, Leopold Brothers. Now, I did a review of their small batch straight bourbon whiskey, and I've put a link at the top here, and I will be doing also their famous 3 Chambers Rye in an upcoming video, so you should subscribe. Now, today we're talking about their gins. They do make 3 different gins, and we're gonna get into the technicals, but what is so special about this distillery? Well, they have their own malting floor, and I don't think that there's any other craft distillery in the country that actually has that. But all that said, how good are these gins? Well, let's jump into technicals and then we'll cover the tasting notes. So let's start with the Leopold Brothers small batch gin. Now, this gin is 80 proof and it has an ABV of 40 and it retails for $35. Then we have the Leopold Summer Gin. This is 94 proof or 47 ABV and this retails for $35. And finally, we have the Leopold Navy Strength Gin. This is 114 proof or 57 ABV and it retails for $40. Now, these gins are made in layers, meaning each distillate is distilled separately. Once they have all of the flavor profile distillate in single batches, then they go and they build them in layers, creating these very, very precise gin. Now, the packaging on this is really nice. I love the cutting at the top here, and then on top of it, simple, classic. They have their still, they have the botanicals that they're using, they explain how they're building it in layers. They have the classic distillery, batch 2016. I mean, these guys are just on the cutting edge. The bottle is good. This is just good packaging overall, and they're really pushing the limits. This is a real up-and-coming star. Everything that they do that I've had to now is just amazing. And like I said in the previous video, of the whiskeys, if you haven't had their Americano, which is a Campari style, you have to try that. It is just mind-blowing. Now, let's take a look at the tasting notes of these 3 gins, but before that, do you want to taste like a pro? Head over to TastingSkills.com, put your name and email into the magical yellow box, and I will send you my free 17-page guide to the fundamentals of tasting. But not only that, if you'd like to get a sexy sober t-shirt or a hat, I also have some hoodies. Everything comes in black or in gray. Once you put your items into the cart at TastingSkills.com/shop, you can put the promo code IAMOBG and shipping will be free because it's on me. All right, now let's get into these Leopold gins, starting with, of course, the Leopold Brothers Small Batch Gin. 80 proof or 40 ABV. On the color, clear. On the nose, cedar, pine, juniper, cilantro, fennel, lemon peels, orange, blossom, lavender, peppermint bark, cloves, mint, coriander seeds, licorice in layers of complexity. This is a beautifully and well-balanced nose. It offers depth and it expands every time you go back to it. On the mouthfeel, delicate and well-balanced. This delivers light layers of complex botanicals that fill your mouth, as the acidity gives you what the nose was indicating. It's not big, and the finish is just stunning, since it has a really long finish, and it keeps on giving. The peppermint bark on here was just insane. The overall balance and the link and the complexity, I mean, tasting these straight was delicious. And I am sure if you do some classic cocktails, and I will link to some classic cocktails below, these are so good. These guys are really setting the bar so high for their competitors. I mean, for $35, this is hard to beat. This is just mind-blowing. I absolutely love this gin. All right, let's move on to the Leopold Brothers Summer Gin, 94 proof. On the color, once again, it's clear. On the nose, higher in alcohol, of course. This delivers layers of botanicals like coriander seed, lavender, roses, violets, dill, thyme, and rosemary. This nose is very focused and the layers are complex when it comes to the zesty fruits, but the higher alcohol shows itself a little bit. On the mouthfeel, thicker viscosity and more floral. This mouthfeel is driven by the zesty fruits like orange blossom, lime peel, lemon peel, and then you fall in a garden of fresh herbs like coriander, thyme, marjoram, tarragon. This, once again, has a very complex finish, and the acidity drives the long finish. In the end, the alcohol dissipates and leaves you refreshed. This one was a lot more focused on the zesty part of the structure. It had more viscosity, more thickness, just a lot prettier in a zesty, fruity way. The acidity was, of course, very strong because you did get a lot of the different peels, like I said, of the lime, the orange blossom, the lemon. Like, it was just so good. And once again, these are so good, so well balanced, and very, very precise. All right, let's talk about the last one, the Navy Strength. That is the big one that everybody wants. So let's cover the Leopold's Brother Navy Strength Gin, 114 proof. On the color, it's clear. On the nose, once again, the alcohol shows itself. Since this is Navy Strength, it's got kick to it, but this is very delicate, and it's layers of aromas as it gives you some licorice, dill, fennel, lemongrass, kaffir lime, tangerine, oranges, and some Simcoe hops. A solid nose that delivers real attention. You have to be focused. On the mouthfeel, this gin just has a great attack as it delivers on so many levels. This is an instant Navy classic. You get the kaffir lime, the oranges, the lemon, the lime, the tangerines, the coriander, and the complexity is high as you get a beautiful burn that drives the acidity into layers of anise star, caraway seed, and some cardamom. Now, I've had a lot of Navy Strength gins, and up to now, this is the most precise and best Navy Strength gin I've ever had personally. This one was just a mind blower. It was so drinkable. The power of the high alcohol did not overcome. There was just this beautiful balance between all of the aromas and the flavor profile and the alcohol, because the goal is to have an overall pretty balance between everything. Everything was just precise. I'm absolutely in love with this. All right, let's do a quick recap of all of them and see what you should buy and what you should pass on. Let's start with the Leopold Brothers Small Batch Gin at 80 proof. This is an absolute buy. I was really impressed. The nose on here was just insanity. Absolute purchase. So you should chase this one down. Then we have the Leopold Brothers Summer Gin. This had a higher proof, but again, just a classic. The viscosity on here and the complexity around the zesty fruit gave it a never-ending finish. I'm absolutely in love, and this, of course, is a purchase. And then finally, the Navy Strength Leopold Brothers at 114 proof. Now, this is a classic, it's a buy, and it's a collector's. I don't know how much they're making of this, but this is one that you need to absolutely chase down. These Leopold Brothers gin are so good, so precise. Like I said, these guys are putting a very high bar. Everything that they turned out up to now in the past 5 years that I've tasted their products has been impeccable. These are quickly becoming the biggest star in the craft distillery movement. Now, I know that there's a lot of craft brands out there, but nobody is paying attention to details as much as these guys. This was just amazing. All right, now go down there, click the bell, don't forget to subscribe, smash that like button, and I put a link below to the, of course, Leopold Brothers Straight Bourbon Whiskey below. And don't forget, the 3 Chambers Rye is coming, and that thing is just a monster. All right, that's gonna do it for me. I'm IAMOBG for tastingskills.com. Please remember, my friend, stay sober. Peace.